Welcome to the Do You Believe edition of the Basketball Illuminati here on the Count the Dings Network. I'm Zach Harper. That's Proud American. And I mean Proud American, Wosny Lambre. That is Mo Dakhil, a little less Proud American, but Mo Dakhil.
Whoa, no, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm all about it. Let me go put on the red, white, and blue.
Mo Dakhil, he loves everything going on right now.
Prouder.
No one's prouder than Mo Dakhil. He's the proudest American there is. Guys, obviously, we've got massive happenings last night in the NBA with Luka back in Dallas for a night. But clearly the biggest news is, do you believe that it's the smartest business move to include chicken tenders with a CarMax meal? Like a CarMax deal, like for a car, a meal, a deal. If I'm buying a car, which is already an arduous process.
It's the worst process.
It sucks. Lease the car, buy the car. It sucks. Years ago, not this car, but the previous car, I was turning in a lease at the same dealership. I was going to get a new car. I was going to hey, turn in a lease, going to get a lease. And I get it. It's not the same as buying a car. They don't give us as much of a fuck there. But I'm like, all right, whatever. We're going to let's keep this business going. Let's keep this relationship going. I had to fake a phone call with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, hey, I just texted. I was like, I'm just going to say some nonsense into the phone. I just need you on the other end. You don't have to say anything, right? Do this phone call. Hey, come pick me up. I said it near the desk where the guy, come pick me up. They're bullshitting. I got to do that, right? If there were chicken tenders at that desk, I would have signed anything they wanted. Kevin Harlan's the GOAT.
Not even what sauces are coming with it. That's also the important. Then I'm negotiating the sauces.
I don't know. I'm not. Look, you provide chicken tenders. It doesn't even have to be a great sauce with it. I'm good.
Dude, the freaking process before you ultimately sign these damn papers.
Oh my God. It changes. The deal changes right when you get to the papers.
He goes back to the back to talk to his bosses. And,
oh my God.
We just ran some things. It's just such.
And the other thing is, in the same way Zach faked the phone call with his girlfriend. Yeah, they're faking their conversation in the back.
Absolutely. I remember at one point she goes, am I actually coming to get you? I was like, I'm not going to go get
you might need to come get me.
I was there 7 hours that day to turn in a car and come back.
So insane,
dude.
It was the car salesman's work day.
There you go. Wasted his whole day. You could have got a lot of cars that day. Guys, do you believe that Nico Harrison has a shred of remorse? Luka returned to Dallas as the Lakers won 112-97. Luka had 45 points on 16 of 28 shooting, 7 of 10 from 3, 6 of 9 from the line, 8 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals. At least 11 or 12 fire Nico chants. I lost count at one point. A couple of
insane
MVP chants, a faint sell the team chant at one point that really couldn't get going. I don't know if you know this, but I was informed of this yesterday. On the broadcast, any barely intelligible talking words, chants, or anything that get going, the broadcast is actually filtering that out. So a chant really has to be loud in order to this wasn't a few bros in a second deck section by a microphone chanting MVP for Alex Caruso in 2019. That wasn't this. This was half the crowd chanting fire Nico as he is watching this fat Slovenian who can't be trusted with $340 million torch his team for 45 points. The second player in NBA history to score 45 points for two teams in the same season. Wilt Chamberlain, of course. It's always Wilt Chamberlain is the other guy. So, Woz, do you believe that Nico Harrison has any shred of remorse in this situation?
I think after last night, there is a shred. At the very least, there is at least a shred or a strand or a half of strand of remorse, because this was the best Luka's looked basically since the trade. And I know people are going to be like, no shit, he scored 45 or whatever. But I think it's the way he got those points. He was actually beating guys off of the dribble, getting to the paint, finishing at the cup, drawing fouls. He just hadn't been doing that since he got to the Lakers. I feel like a lot of it has been this dribble, step back three kind of stuff that he's been going to. And every now and again, it falls, and then sometimes it doesn't, and it looks bad. But last night, he was torching Gafford. He was torching Lively on the switch. Maybe the problem is I think those guys are better switch defenders than they actually are. But, like, I don't know.
I don't know. Gafford came in and, like, kind of controlled things for a bit, and then Luka came back in, and that control was gone. Yeah.
It was like, no, I'll take that back now. Yeah. That was, Luka came in and said, oh, that's mine. Here we go. This is my situation.
Mo, do you believe that there's a shred of remorse for Nico Harrison now?
Yeah, but there should. I think it was even before this game. I think there was a shred of remorse. I think it was the game in LA. Like, I think there was a bit of remorse from there. And then let's just take a look at Anthony Davis's line of 5 of 13, 13 points, 11 rebounds, nice, 8 assists. It was like a decent game. It's the type of game that he gets killed for over and over again when he's in LA.
You had a conversation during the game on the broadcast, him wanting to play the 4 versus the 5. Like, we're still doing that
constantly. Well, now they have big, so now he gets to play the 4. We get to see, all that fun stuff. But he's got to have a shred of remorse. I'll just be curious, is he even allowed out of his house in Dallas? Like, can him and his wife go grab dinner in downtown Dallas at a restaurant and not get accosted by at least like 4 Mavs fans yo?
He can probably go to some Michelin stars or some at least Michelin guide.
I don't know. These are Mavericks fans working at these restaurants, man.
Maybe the workers. Yeah, I guess the workers.
Look, this isn't the same thing, but there was a security guard last night.
There was a big black dude next to him, parked next to him in the tunnel. I noticed that too.
No, not that. No, this is a different thing. Yes, there was that. But
there was that.
But no, at the end of the game, one of the people from The Athletic that was there was like up on the concourse area, and there was a security guard up there as the game was ending, and he's like, "Hey, what are they chanting?" And he said, "Oh, they're chanting Fire Nico." I go, "Oh yeah, I agree with that." Like, a worker in the building is like, "Oh yeah." Like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's
Jesus
people just outright doing this. Like, I don't think he has a shred of remorse. I think he is the type of person, like, if anything, this emboldened him even more. It's like, oh, you can have your little petty regular season moment. Wait till Kyrie's back next year. We didn't have Kyrie.
Or maybe wait till the playoffs. Like, obviously, he's rooting against them in the playoffs. Yeah. Sociopath, the person whose behavior is antisocial and who lacks a sense of moral responsibility or social conscience.
Sociopath.
Oh, God.
That's the definition for sociopath. Yeah, I think Nico, because I think you have to just be complete. Like, you can't waver from this at any point. You can't express any remorse. You can't feel any remorse.
Because it would kill you if you do.
You've chosen not only like, I'm going to captain the Titanic this whole way. You're like, give me more icebergs to hit. I'll hit them all.
Also, that's why he sent out Quentin Grimes. Like, you just keep adding more.
Also, you can't change. You can't do anything to reverse this, right? It's not like, you break up with a girl and you beg her to take you back. Like, that's not an option.
Yeah. No.
You made the bed.
She may hook up at the bar next week, but you still got to find
you gotta let
wife.
bygones
I don't really know what's happening here. Yeah, I don't know.
You got to let bygones be bygones.
Yeah,
we all have pasts.
It's gonna be even worse. Like, they'll have, I don't know, they'll probably beat the Kings in the play-in, right? What's funny is before the game,
why do we think that's probably gonna happen?
It's the Kings. Like, I know it's the Mavs, but I don't know. Like, they got Anthony Davis. I don't know. They should. It's funny is before the game, 2 things. Like, one, Jason Kidd talked about, well, yeah, we're going to have to go win a game in Sacramento. It's like, you still could host this game if you win some games the rest of the season. Like, it's not like you have to go play in Sacramento. Like, you can host this 9-10 game. Like, you still in position to do that. Then there was also the whole, like, And everyone made this joke on the internet, but the whole he was like, yeah, some people are comparing this to to Babe Ruth. That's pretty cool. It's like, dog, you're the Red Sox.
I was about to put the tweet in the chat going like, we got to make sure we talk about
the
Oh my God.
about?
J Kidd's sort of role and his
I think he's there to distract and disarm. I really do.
It's obvious
he's not
that
doing a good job comparing some of the Red Sox.
That he was partly complicit in this, by the way. It's obvious
I don't think he loved Luka.
Yes, he didn't like Luka's approach. It's obvious that he shared a distaste for how Luka went about his business.
Yeah.
But he's also like, Jesus Christ, this probably wasn't the best thing to do.
But I mean, I do think they can have some kind of, I don't know, they can disassociate in a way of just wait till Kyrie's back. When Kyrie's back next year, then we'll really show him. You can buy yourself some time, at least within your own
next year.
Well, I think you can at least say that. Whether you believe it or not, I think you can at least say that.
Right? Okay. We saw how well that worked for Philly. Keep telling everybody, we'll wait till we're healthy. We saw how well
that's not fair, Mo. Joel Embiid and those guys have a history of not being available. Kyrie is always available, whether injury or not. He never misses time.
And Anthony Davis?
Oh my God.
It's I do think you can have that kind of, I don't know, there's almost like a cognitive dissonance there that you can buy into, right? You can trick yourself into spouting that and almost it's almost like the Chris Webber. No, I didn't take any money at Michigan. I think he perjured himself because he said it so many times he actually believed it. I think they can say this so many times that they can eventually believe, no, when we're healthy, we'll show the Lakers and Luka that this is the plan.
I'm not even a Mavs fan, and Gafford's having his moment. PJ Washington stuck a couple of big threes at a certain point. Lively's back and playing.
Najee
and
Marshall was hoping.
Najee Marshall. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, this Dallas team was so fucking dope. The team that they put together this year was so nice. This was
the
crazy
best
180, man. It's a people
Christ, dude.
I saw people going, his reputation at the trade after the trade deadline last. I was like, his reputation, going into this season,
this was the best Mavs team.
Then you went and got Clay. You went and got Quentin Grimes. You went and got trade Quentin. You went and got Najee Marshall. Made other moves where people are like, hey, you went and got extra help. You should be good going into the season.
Kyrie, who wasn't even there last night. It's this team was sick.
Yes.
This was
Luka's
a little
fat. He's always a little fat. He was a little fat in the finals.
Dude. This
team
was
always going to be a little
sick,
fat.
bro.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
This team was so talented and so sick. I'd just because I hadn't seen Lively play in a while, obviously, because he spent so much time out. And I'm like, damn, Lively actually was going to be back in April, right in time for the playoffs. And you were going to have Gafford, and it was just I can't believe they did this shit.
I mean, the fact is, too, Luka hadn't played since Christmas. He was hurt. It was okay.
Oh my God,
you were going to be okay. It was going to be fine.
It was going to be fine. The team was
tread water
sick.
until February.
This was going to be a sick team.
You literally would be in the mix right now. You'd be in this whole 3 through 8 fiasco.
Absolutely.
You would have been right. You would have been right in that prime position.
And guess what? Let's say it still happens. Let's say Kyrie tears his knee. No matter what, that knee's getting torn. Guess what? You still have Luka fucking Doncic.
Yeah.
Then you have
and all these bigs and shooters and everything.
Spencer Dinwiddie, you still got Spencer Dinwiddie came out. Oh my bad.
It's all
crypto's back up though. I don't know if you guys saw that.
And was they're not prosecuting scams ananymore. Which is
that's
good.
What's
so
up.
Spencer can really dive in if he wants to and get
he's
super
ready to
weird
roll
with it.
down.
Yeah, he can really get weird.
He could drop a meme coin?
I think so.
And then do a rug pull?
Absolutely. I think we should do that. Do you believe the DYB Meme coin. I think we could do it.
It's okay. The only person who's going to get in trouble in this is going to be me.
I know I won't.
Well,
Historically, I'll be fine. So I think we should do it.
Yeah.
Laugh on the
Maze will be
wrist.
good.
No,
I'll be good.
listen, I tell people this all the time, but after 9/11, Muslims kind of took the black spot of racist rage.
Yeah.
And then when we started doing the immigration shit, like it's like
where are we going?
El Salvadorian,
This is getting really weird. I'm
Venezuelan,
scared.
Mexican. Like in the pecking order, black people might be third now.
Hey guys, the Denver Nuggets fired Michael Malone. Do you believe the Nuggets will find their joy soon? Okay, so they fired Michael Malone. They're not going to extend Calvin Booth, which essentially fires him, I don't know, when their season's over, which probably, 3 weeks. Chris Hayne reported this morning. Now, let me get this exact wording here. Chris Hayne reported, sources, Denver Nuggets owner Josh Kroenke met with team prior to shoot around on Wednesday to say the team wasn't playing with joy and implored them to fight with passion and enthusiasm the duration of the season, 3 games. The team appeared invigorated in win over the Kings. Also, Josh is going to be the interim president of basketball operations. Always, I think it's very important whenever you can get a non-basketball person in a basketball role, you have to do it. It always works out. It's a good idea, especially when just some rich guy's son decides he wants to play basketball operations guy. Good idea. So we have that happening for the Nuggets. Jokic on the firing says, quote, I knew a little bit before everybody, I bet. And Josh Kroenke told me we made a decision. So it was not a discussion. It was a decision, and he told me why. So I listened and I accepted. I'm not saying Jokic got him fired, okay? I'm just saying that is curious to me. If you want to save the job and you're Jokic, you can do it. 100%.
So I'll say this. I think
that's it's a very Giannis like, oh no, I'm not involved in this. Where you are.
I understand what you're saying, but like I talked to Adam yesterday, who like Adam Mares, DNVR, who like he's over there. He's been pretty good with the Jokic people for a while. He's like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like people talk about, oh, he's a foreigner, blah blah blah, but he's just like Serbia specifically, man. Like their sports have a very hierarchical kind of idea. And it's just like, that's what y'all do. Y'all coach, y'all GM. I go out there and play. So while I don't think Jokic was ever going to fall on a sword for Mike Malone, and be like, no, and which I do think if he did that, Mike Malone would still be the coach.
Yeah,
meaning
sure.
if he was like, hold on now.
Would.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't do this. I think Mike Malone would still be the coach. But when they said he's fired, I think Jokic was just like,
here's the thing. With 3 games left in the fucking season, it's not firing Mike Malone. Like, it's not like you want to fire Mike Malone, you fire Mike Malone. You want to fire Taylor Jenkins, you fire Taylor Jenkins. It's the timing. The timing is ridiculous.
But the timing's awful.
Nothing. Here's the thing. Josh Kroenke's like in that bullshit video that the Nuggets put out, that little one-on-one interview. Like, there's more like this team has more in it. I promise you it doesn't. This team has Jokic to drag this bum-ass roster through whatever he can, and then the non-Jokic minutes, whatever that 8-minute stretch is every fucking game, they lose it. Like, that's what the playoffs are going to be. And you just hope that those 40 are more than those 8. That's what it is. And you hope Jamal Murray can be healthy, and you hope Aaron Gordon can stay healthy, and whatever the fuck Michael Porter Jr. can do, you hope that happens. And then the rest of this bum-ass roster, like, you hope, like, someone steps up. There's nothing more. They're not contenders in this situation. With an interim coach who has 3 games to figure it out. Great. You beat the under 500 Kings. Fantastic.
They're back.
The timing, the timings were awful, right? There's no argument there. Like, the timing's absolutely worse. It's stupid. It's silly across the board. Like, there's no defending that whatsoever. But to just your point, to kind of piggyback off Waz's thing, I could just see Jokic saying, the moment that Kroenke said, we made a decision and then explained it to him, Jokic was like, all right, they already decided. Fuck it. I ain't going to really I'm not going to have a conversation with that. You're right.
And the basketball genius was like, 3 games left to go in the season. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And then the idea of like, I did this so the team they could find their joy. They will. Jokic will find his joy with the horses in 2 or 3 weeks. Like he will be
that's when
back, like he will be back home much quicker than before. Yeah. And now that's the situation. So
like this team maybe gets to the second round, puts up a good fight against somebody. Like they're not contenders.
This is the thing though.
Damn it, Maze.
I don't think the team, he's stupid. I don't think the team, obviously it's hard to make the argument that the team has gotten better since firing their freaking coach 3 days before the playoffs. However, I think Mike Malone legitimately participated in bad and extremely unprofessional behavior.
Coaching?
I do. Yes. The shit where he's not playing young guys because they're Calvin Booth guys is weird, bro.
They're not good.
Well,
they're not good. Christian Brown's a good guy, a young guy. He plays him because he's good.
How do they even Christian Brown, though, he had to be drag kicking and screaming last year and the year before that. Like,
and what happened? He earned minutes and now he's good. Like it's okay to earn minutes.
That happens on every coaching staff. Period. Like the Knicks traded a first-round pick for Cam Reddish, and Tibbs was like, "I didn't want him." And he's at the very end of the bench.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen on every coaching staff,
I'm
but
never going to stop believing in Cam Reddish, man.
We just acknowledge that the guys who are playing aren't very good. So why are we not letting our younger guys get a chance when the guys who are playing in their stead are not world beaters?
Because here's the thing: look, they don't practice a ton, but I'm imagining Michael Malone's whole focus is I want to win games, right? Now, I'm not saying his decisions are perfect, but his focus is I want to win games. I don't want to develop players. So I'm going to put my team in a position to win games. If you can't prove as a young player that you are better and steadier than whatever the fuck Russell Westbrook's doing night in and night out, like this idea that, he played Westbrook over Jalen Pickett, and look what happened at the end of that Wolves game. Jalen Pickett's not doing
that's crazy. To do that in one game, it's not a one game sample, dude. It's just a matter of like you don't have a solid bench. But you don't give your young guys a chance is crazy to me.
I'm all about you playing your young guys and developing your bench throughout the entire season and things like that. Like I'm with you, but you have to have some of the talent on the bench. Like there has to be something there to begin with where, hey, if we give this young guy consistent minutes through the course of the whole season, we're going to kind of have something at the end of the season. I'm not a believer, in Julian Strawther. Like I just don't see it. Like I know all that. Sorry, like he could shoot. That's it. But like, I don't know if come playoff time, we're going to pick on him on defense and all that stuff. The thing I think that really got him in trouble, and this that was interesting, was the Jamal Murray quote before his last game as a coach, where he's talking about like, they asked him about Jamal Murray. He's like, he goes like, I hope we have him back by the playoffs. It was very weird. It was day to day. And then now it's not day to day. And I think there's something there where I think that quote made the front office and Kroenke go like, we didn't want that out there.
I agree. I do. I think that was a violation of intel on the on the inside of that organization. And I think he pushed that button because he knew the higher ups above Calvin Booth already don't like that. Like, hey, we just gave, like, that extension hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
That Jamal Murray extension starts next season. They already were like, hey, why don't we give this dude 4 years, $208 million? And he can't, like, he's still hurt. I thought he was healthy. So that was already a sensitive subject. And then Mike comes out and is like, hey, we don't know when this dude's going to play.
He's literally saying, look over here. Look over here.
And that was that is a violation of trust. That is like, you can't, that's playing with fire for sure. And again, I have no problem with, like, I don't think Mike Malone is like this infallible coach. You're like, oh my God, you can't fire him. That's ridiculous. Funny story. Mo, this is like, I don't know, like 4 years ago. We're in Vegas. We're in the lobby of a hotel. And Mo is like, hey, my friend's going to come meet us. He's like he represents some people, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So the three of us are bullshitting in the lobby. Mo's like, oh, I'm going to go grab my bag. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's just me and this guy talking. And this guy just like, I don't know who he represents. I don't know anything. And he just randomly goes, let me ask you a question. You're in this business. He goes, who do you think's like an average coach? I want to say it's like 2021. He goes, who do you think is an average coach? I was like, I don't know, man, like Michael Malone. I think he's an average coach. Like, take him and leave him. I think he's fine, but I don't think he's great. He goes, oh, I represent Michael Malone. I was like, well, I stand by my answer, man. 2 years later, he wins the championship. 2 years later, he's fired. I think I was right.
Sure. Here's the thing, though, about all of this, because I think the playing the young guy stuff, it's not about whether Strouder or Jalen Pickett are actually like great young players. It's not really about that. I think if there's a perception out there where people know that there are guys that are basically get a scarlet letter as Calvin Booth guys on the team and therefore don't play because of it. Yeah. Okay? If there's a perception out there, the players know too.
Sure.
Like, that's bad. That's fireable, bro.
But also,
that's fireable.
What if you're just not good at bringing these players in? DeAndre Jordan is like your backup center. He's not there to like mentor and be the guy in the locker room. He's playing.
Of course
Sarge
not.
You brought in sucks. These young guys come in, they can't play. Like, you haven't built out this bench. Now, in Calvin Booth's defense, I'll say ownership tightens the purse strings. There's only so much you can do. I don't think it's fully on him. Yes, you have, like, if the job is to find those cheap diamonds in the rough, you have to find the cheap diamonds in the rough, but that's not easy to do. Like, if he misses on some of those, it's fine. But ultimately, you're telling Michael Malone, hey, you still got to contend for championships. You don't have time to develop this shit in season.
I get that, but I'm sorry, bro. Like, the players on the team knowing and seeing that you're in open warfare with the GM is fireable. That's my opinion. That's dysfunction on purpose. You're purposely creating dysfunction.
Agreed. Fire him after the season. Fire him after the season.
But was even no, you're right about that. There's no question. Like, we always talk about it. The best organizations have alignment from ownership, front office, to coaches, to players. You're right, 100%.
And Calvin Booth deserves to be fired too, because they both participated in dysfunction.
We've known about this dysfunction for 2 years. This has been one of the most worst kept secrets in the NBA about these teams, literally after the finals, like literally these two guys having this sort of relationship. Like, so it's cool. You let it happen the first year. It's on ownership. You let it go through the first year.
That's what I was going to say too.
And then then you don't sit them down.
So here's the thing. That ownership, they don't like owning the Nuggets.
That's the funny thing too, that you learn when you read the reports, is that like the Cronkies were like hanging out for the last 3 weeks and we're like, oh shit, this is horrible.
Dude, they don't like they look at this
shit that Mo Dakhil and Zach Harper knew for 2 years. These guys came 3 weeks ago. Just
they woke up one day, said, oh shit, don't we own that Nuggets team? Let's go and check it out. What the fuck's going on here? These guys got to go. They like owning the Rams. They like owning whatever fucking English Premier team they have. Arsenal. Yeah, they like owning them. They look at the Nuggets as like
the Avalanche too.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is a business expense. This is for tax purposes. They don't like owning that team. They're open about that. Like, this is an albatross to them.
They don't have a practice facility. They play in like basically the equivalent to a convent gym.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, Josh Kroenke woke up one day and was like, Dad's probably not going to be happy with the team right now. I better clean house. Fuck out of here, man. Go play GM. You want to play GM? Fire up 2K. What are you doing? Firing the coach 3 games before the season's over, before the playoffs. That's stupid.
Michael Porter join Noir.
Is Zach Kleiman in Memphis going like, see, I'm not so bad.
Exactly. Kleiman's the happiest out of all this shit. Oh my God.
Like, bruh.
Do you believe a single team would trade places with the Suns? Oh, guys, let me bring you back all the way. Let's get that time machine way back to May 1st, 2024, almost a full year ago, Matt Ishbia, owner of the Suns, said, quote, ask the other 29 GMs. 26 of them would trade their whole team for our whole team and our draft picks and everything as is. Quote, the house is not on fire. We're in a great position. It's not hard to fix. It's not like we're like, hey, we don't have enough talent to win a championship. We have enough talent to win a championship. Do we have enough continuity? There's a lot of things we can look at. We have the right leadership in place. Last night, they were eliminated from the play-in tournament chase. They're 35 and 45. Tied for last in the lottery.
Oh my God, dude.
They had a must-win game against the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not play. They got beat by double digits. Now, to be fair, the Thunder are still good without Shai, but not dominant when he's not on the floor.
Good.
Not as good. Not beat you by 15 good, but, whatever. No Kevin Durant. They are, I think, either 2-15 or 2-16 when KD doesn't play this year. They're 33 and 29 when he does play.
33 and 29? That's the kind of team nobody wants to trade places with?
Hey, man. Imagine they got on a roll, though. It could be like 35 and 27. It could really, there's some tough breaks in there.
Mind you, when he said this, it was crazy then.
It was insane.
It was after they got swept by the
in real time. It was insane.
Which was crazy too, because they handled the Wolves in the regular season to where most of us went into that series going, "Oh man, that's a tough break for the Wolves. That's a bad matchup." And then Minnesota stomped them.
They smoked them.
Smoked them. And it was just like, okay, Vogel was here a year. Get rid of him. Mike Budenholzer, come in. Install your system, which sounds great. Like, me, I was fire Bud during the championship parade. Like, I believe in firing people during the championship parade. The Nuggets should have done that with one of those dudes, either Malone or Calvin Booth. Should have fired one of those dudes during the championship parade. I truly believe you got to do that, right? But the Suns, you install Mike Budenholzer, who has a great offensive system, a great defensive system. You're going to, at least in the regular season, roll in wins unless nobody in that locker room fucking believes in you. And then they're not going to buy in right away. And I mean, he never at any point did they go like, yeah, we're in. He never had the locker room, not even day one of training camp. Like, that's crazy. Where they just completely dismissed him as a hire. Even Adrian Griffin, I think, had like 3 weeks in Milwaukee before they said, get out of here.
Well, do you remember when they started 8-1 to begin the season?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
The Suns started 8-1 to begin the season.
To start the season, they were killing. Then KD sprained his ankle, and it literally was like, we had a nice 9-game run.
Yeah. They beat the Clippers. They lost the Lakers. They beat the Mavs, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Blazers, the Sixers, the Heat, the Mavs. Yeah, man, they were hooping.
Might as well have been another lifetime ago. Jesus Christ.
It was. Luka was still a Mav.
26 teams would have switched places with them at 8-1.
We hadn't yet been liberated by the tariffs. It's crazy.
That's true. That's true. Liberated
the
step of the word.
Shackles were still on us back then.
By non-tariff life, yeah.
Trying to get us back.
Mo, you were saying?
I lost track. I got thrown up. I wanted to get us back on track, and I got lost. But the other thing too, Zach, that's funny about, like, I love that quote because he's also like, yeah, and even with our pick situation, they need to make a trade. They need to make a trade that Brooklyn made, which is to get their own picks back.
Get your own picks back.
That's
it.
Well, the good news
you can have Devin Booker and KD. Just give us our own picks back.
The good news is right now the record's so bad they would be around the 9th or 10th pick, which you can get a good player in this draft. Unfortunately, their pick goes to Houston, the 2 seed.
Yeah, tough.
That's tough. Tough break.
Tough.
But I mean,
why does Houston have their pick?
Oh God,
Which deal was that?
Let me see.
No, it was. I think it came from Brooklyn because the Mikal Bridges trade or the KD trade, where they sent all their picks to.
Got you.
Mikal Bridges went for 5
It was
picks.
It went to Brooklyn for KD, and then it was the let's swap picks and move some stuff around. Let's money launder some picks with Houston. That's what that was.
Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, they're just in such a terrible situation.
It's the most expensive failure in league history. to not even make the play-in tournament with this.
Highest payroll in the league.
Let me ask a question. Devin Booker maybe wants to get out of there. Do you believe Devin Booker wants to get out?
He said that he's fine with staying.
He also, the other night, was glowing about Madison Square Garden. He is a CAA client.
Yeah, I mean,
his best
I've been
friend
hearing about that
Towns.
for years. I've been hearing about Devin
Maybe
Booker.
Mikal Bridges isn't very happy about his situation in New York.
Wanting to be in New York for years.
Connect some dots here, huh?
I think
Tom and Amin aren't the only people who can do that.
I think I don't know.
He should want out. He should want out.
He should want out.
KD's going to want out. I mean, KD's out, right?
KD's gone.
KD's gone.
KD's bags are
packed. They basically have
They're
said
already
so themselves.
talking about it publicly.
Yeah, like this is one of those things where, like, you know how the league finds players for demanding a trade publicly?
They should find the Suns for
announcing a trade.
For openly talking about, like, we're trading him. He's gone.
All right, let me throw some teams at you, okay? If you were the Hornets, would you swap places with the Suns? Would you swap rosters?
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay. If you were the Wizards?
No.
They want Bradley Beal back? No.
They
just got rid of it.
I don't know, man.
No, the Wizards
Bradley Beal. He loves Bradley Beal.
The Wizards paying $450 million for this roster.
Oh, he does not. He doesn't like that. Yeah, that's
probably the 7th seed in the East this year.
More interesting than anything else.
Hold on. Would they? I don't know that that's good enough to make the play-in this year.
Well,
they'd be a game out of that. They'd be a game out of the behind the Heat.
But the only thing I would say, though, is that, like, they would also have an easier run because they'd be playing Eastern Conference teams on a regular basis.
No, this team wouldn't fuck that up at all. They're so steady.
I'm just saying, Zach. I'm trying to give them a little bit of help, okay, man? They're like 500 against the East, okay?
Like, let's just at least try to give some hope
there, okay?
Okay, so the Hawks, they'd be the Hawks. Great.
Yeah. I'm not saying they'd be, like, up there in the East. They'd be in the
play-in tournament. They'd be the 9th seed.
I mean, not if you're the Jazz. The Jazz have all those picks, right?
But, like, what does this say about KD and Booker at this point in their lives that this is what they can produce? Injuries or not, like, even Devin Booker, who's just having one of his worst seasons.
Yeah, I thought he played well. I just don't think he shot well. But
there's only 28, Zach. He's not a spring chicken anymore.
Oh, yeah, and he was like young.
The years are going to be getting better.
He was a young 19
going to be
getting
getting worse and not better going forward.
I don't know. Like,
I think he'll bounce back. I'm not
worried about Devin Booker.
I think if Booker was 31 and had this season, then I'd be a little bit more concerned.
Okay.
He's still got the 2 in front of him for a little bit, and I think that's okay. Like, he's still got 2 or 3 more years.
Guys are just deeper into their career. They're better. It's not like I think we're still thinking about this like guys in the 90s.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
I'm not worried about that.
I just think that run that he had 2 years ago in the playoffs, 3 years ago in the playoffs, I don't know if that guy is still in him, is what I'm saying.
I don't know. We still do that for Donovan Mitchell.
I don't.
I think Booker's fine for now. I'm not worried about Booker. He was saddled with fucking Bradley Beal and Bol for like half the season. Like, I think like you get him around some better teammates. Now, if you don't think he's going to have better teammates next year, yes, then I feel bad for it. Now he's like back to where he was 6 years ago, and that's not fun for it. Like, I worry about his mental health more than I worry about his game.
Yeah.
There's only so many classic cars you can buy to like dive yourself into to escape. I
think I have one team that I think possibly would want to trade positions.
Okay.
Who's that?
The New Orleans Pelicans.
I don't know. Philly
is another one that's up there.
I think those are the two I would say, like,
but the Pelicans could really burn this down to the studs tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they could start the process of doing it.
And no one in New Orleans would notice.
Exactly.
Right. Which is good.
I mean, like, which is good. But I think
people
like,
care about the Suns. People in Phoenix care about the Suns. Like you got
Trey Murphy. They got Trey Jones, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
They have guys and like whatever. They could move on. Zion, they could figure out a way to offload some of that stuff.
They don't have to pretend Jose Alvarado's good for much longer.
They will. They will, Zach.
Well, yeah, you got to sell something at this point at the end of the season.
It's
like you
just the Philly situation with Embiid.
I think that's what, because at least Booker's healthy,
the
right? Like Booker's good.
Object.
But I'll just say this. But like they have Maxey. Like I don't know if they're like Booker's better, but it's also Maxey's younger. You still have more lifespan with him in your run up. I think it's not as easy.
But Booker's way better than Maxey. Maxey's good, but Booker's like elite.
And then also the pick situation again. Philly at least is going to have a lottery pick. That's a big one there.
Let me look at the pick situation for Phoenix going forward because it is pretty rough.
No, it's brutal, Zach. Next year's pick is a pick swap.
Well, I think they get the Cavs pick this year. All right, they're not out of picks. Yeah, they get the 30th pick. 29th pick. All right, that's exciting.
They get the 30th pick.
They get oh shit, man. The Wizards can swap with them next year. The Magic can swap with them next year.
All of these unprotected, by the way.
Yeah, man.
From now till 2031?
Once again, the Cavs can swap with them in 2027. Jesus Christ, man. This is
like, I'm just saying, when we talk about this situation,
why do the Cavs have their 2027 swap?
So Cavs sent their pick to Donovan Mitchell to the Jazz, and then the Jazz in that, like, here's some picks for a pick fit swap, turn that into a pick swap. And it's the least favorable of the Cavs, Jazz, Timberwolves pick. So the Cavs will probably be the best pick out of that in 2027, or the Timberwolves. So it's one of those picks. 2028, they don't have control of their pick. It'll either go to Brooklyn or Washington on a swap. Same in 2029. They don't have, I mean,
I'm telling
the Grizzlies have a swap with them in 2030 if they want. Their pick goes to the Jazz in 2032 is the next time they have full control of a draft pick.
2032?
$500 million for a roster?
The country won't even exist then.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think that's when that asteroid's supposed to hit is 2032.
They need to figure something out. The Devin Booker. Yeah, you got to get your future back.
No offense to Suns fans. You got to get out, Devin.
Whether he demands a trade or not, Phoenix has no other choice.
Yeah,
they have to. And the best part is they're going to be stuck with Bradley Beal because he has no trade clause, and he's just going to.
He's got years, man. He's got like 3 years, right?
They're pray on KD and Booker getting them some stuff.
Well, hold on.
Mercy.
Hold on.
Or, turn those pieces instead of draft picks. Like, get me young developmental guys.
Yeah. No. It's only one more year with Beal, unless you think he's going to pick up that $57 million player option the year after.
He might like go out into the market because he might be able to get a crazy bag. He might get 4 over 20. Like 40 over 2.
Be so impressed. Teams are going to be so impressed with him. They're going to be like arrested because all that time you chose not to play Phoenix.
Like, now we could keep building, or I mean we could go for the 10th pick. Let's get Bradley in here to be a major part of this.
Jesus Christ.
And again, does he want to come? Because he has the no trade clause.
Good question. It's a good question. Yeah. I think the Suns will be fine, though. That's going to do it for us. Make sure you check out Wosny's work on the Ringer. The Suns not going to be fine. The Suns are not going to be. The Suns are even worse. Make sure you check out Wosny's work on the Ringer, and he's all over. He owns the Max app now, so you'll see him on Curbs, you'll see him on Beeps, you'll see him on all that stuff. Gemstones. Make sure you check it out. Mo's Twitch stream. Make sure you check it out. The Bounce, the free newsletter from The Athletic, theathletic.com/The Bounce. It's twitch.tv/Mo Dakhil. Right? Twitch.tv.
Nail it.
Yeah, got it now.
You're killing it.
Nailed it.
Right up here, man. Yeah.
You
Found
got
my
it.
joy in doing those promos. And keep your third eye open right here on
Oh,
Basketball
my
Illuminati.
God.
Oh, God.